Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Spectacle Island. It's beet time. We are going to go make a start on the beets. We've got a couple of helpers coming to help us today, but before we go and make a start, we have to go and fix some of our equipment, or actually swap it out. I was taking a little bit of a closer look here at the topper, and it only works when it is on the back of the tractor. Wheels there, everything relies on the tractor going first and the topper being pulled through. It won't work as a front mounted topper. So I've been in touch with the dealer, and they have another one down there which costs about $5,000 more. I think it's $5,200 or something more, which they are happy, because we haven't put any hours on this, to take it back down and trade it in on. So we can have the front rear hookup and mounting. Now the other issue, we put the we put the little fent on here, and as soon as we hooked it up, the engine just stalled. It's not going to run it. So we are actually going to go and have to look for a new tractor, something else that can run this today, and will work for I guess for other tasks around the farm. So I've got my eyes on something. We're going to have a look in the classifieds, but first things first, we're going to jump here into the tractor. Now one of the workers is on their way. I did say we've got two coming to help us with this task, because I think it's going to be quite labour intensive. So one of them is on their way, and the other is going to meet us down there, and because we're going to look at possibly buying a second tractor, they are going to help us bring things back. So we'll just get this all hooked up, and hopefully we're going to get everything sorted and be able to make a decent start. Now just before we leave as well, some other news. We got contacted by a channel member, Jason, who had an offer for us. He is a John Deere rep, works in a John Deere dealer, and they have had a John Deere 9610 combine that's second hand. It's been traded in, and it's also got a 630F draper head on it. Now he has offered to get that shipped out here to the island. We can deal with the dealer direct, but he's offered that to us for $26,600, completely serviced, ready to go. Now there's no header trailer, there's no corn header or anything like that, but I think, to lift this up on the back, we were dragging it, I think that is a pretty good deal. It's done 57 hours, I think, so it's 57 threshing hours at least, so not a huge amount of work. I suppose in farm some turns it's probably a decent amount, but not too bad at all. So if he can get that shipped over here, we are going to do that. The only issue I have now is, because we're going to have to go and buy this new tractor and sort these bits of machinery out, we're going to have to make a little bit of money before we can do that. But fortunately we are a wee way away from having to use a combine again anytime. So that should make a fantastic deal and be a nice upgrade to the farm as well, to replace the older combine we have, or possibly keep them both and run two. So we will see. But let's head on back down to or keep on heading down to the store, and let's go and sort this topper out so we can at least get started on the beets. I'm looking forward to getting into them, so this was just a little bit of a spanner in the works that I did not need. Oh, and looks like there is one of our workers on his way down. We've got to make sure we're out of his way. He can get past. Here he goes, he stopped for us, but he is on the bike heading down to the farm, so he will be there, which is good. We'll have one worker down there, and our other is going to be meeting us at the shop. So we'll introduce you to that gentleman when we get back to the farm, and we'll introduce you to our first worker when we get down to the shop very soon. Well, there's our helper. He's looks like he's reading the sign. Now the dealer did say just to park this in here, and they would take care of it, so we'll drop this off in the workshop here, and they have already organised. The replacement one is up on the ship, so we just need to go in and pay the difference with them. So we will go and sort that out in just a second. We just get that disconnected. There we go. We can leave that behind, but let's just pop over. We'll go in and sort out the dealer, and we'll have a chat to our new friend. Well, good morning, well, good afternoon, indeed it is. This is M. Morris. M. Morris sent me a message and said he would love to come and help. He often avoids doing beets unless he has to, but he was happy to come and help me out with these. Realised that many hands made light work, so welcome. We're just going to call you Morris. I hope you don't mind that. And welcome along, Morris. We are going to go and sort you out with the tractor. That's the other thing we need to talk to the dealer about. We came down here to get a second tractor, so we'll go and have a look at that and sort that out for you, and we will go and get the topper hooked up. So we'll go in here and get things all tidied up. So we've sorted them out for the topper, and I was just having a look in their classifieds, and this little Fiat Agri here looks like it could be the perfect option for us. 100 horsepower, 85 days old, 42 hours on it, 31% maintenance, so we will have to repair it. But it's only 15 grand. And I think the next closest we could get would be about 30 grand, and that's going to blow a big amount of our budget. There's one other option here, which is this HTZ 180 horsepower, which is quite a lot of horsepower and a pretty decent discount. Pretty damaged though. Not many hours, only 3 hours on it. But otherwise, there's not really anything else in there that would be a good buy for us. Look at that class. That'd actually not be bad at $21,000, but we've already committed to getting that John Deere. Comparable though, isn't it? Comparable price there for the class versus John Deere. Let's have a look at this Fiat. There it is, minus $10,181, takes it down to $14,189. Now, it is a little bit hard to modify it. I always feel we should leave it how it is, how it comes through in the used. So there we are. We're just going to buy it exactly like that. If we want to go and spend some money on upgrading it at some stage in the future, we will do that. But there we go. Let's buy that for $14,819. And we can go and get Morris to take that back down to the farm for us. Alright, so we've got Morris over there in the Fiat. We're just going to get this hooked up here. Q to hook that up there. We'll get the PTO attached if we can. There we go. This is going to be, I mean, we're putting it on the front because that's how we're going to use it. But it is going to be a nice bit of kit, and as is this Fiat. Actually going to be a nice sized tractor. Hopefully be able to run our balers, do some windrowing and some of those tasks. Possibly even get on the cultivator. I can't remember what horsepower we had for that slightly wider cultivator. In fact, I don't think we will. I think it'll be a little bit too much. But certainly be good for some of the other tasks and take away from putting quite so many hours onto the Deutz that we have been. So I'm quite excited about that. And still leaves us, we're only about 10 grand short of having enough money for the combine. So by the time we've harvested some sugar beets and got them underway, we won't be too far away, I don't think, which is fantastic. So we're going to jump into the Deutz and head on back down to the yard. Be a bit of a race. I don't know which tractor is going to be faster. We will find out. Alright, well Morris is off and racing. So not that we're racing, taking things seriously and responsible here, but he is on his way down the ramp and back towards the farm now. I think we're going to go in front of him because I do have a feeling we've got a 34 mile per hour gearbox in this tractor. I think his limit is 24, which isn't too bad. Give us a chance to get back down and get things hooked up and underway. So we'll power our way back to the yard and go and pick up the beet lifter, because that is the other thing we need to be able to make a start on getting everything started in the beets. I'm back here at the yard, and I think, see the bike there, we will have our other helper here somewhere. There he is, checking out the honours board. We'll pop over and have a say hello to him in just a second. We'll just get backed up in here next to the lifter and be ready to go and make a start with that. So there we go. Let's just drop that off there and go and have a hello here. So in front of me here, this is a Vaughn Star Gaming, not to be confused with Corn Star, Cole the Corn Star, but Vaughn with a V. Welcome along, Vaughn. Great to have you here. Get your name up there next week, as long as you do a good job today, of course. So sorry for the little bit of a stuff around here at the start. Things don't always go to plan at Spectacle Island, but we make up for it with a whole lot of fun. So we are going to get hooked up here. I might take you down and get you started on topping and lifting the beets, and when Morris gets here, we'll hook him up to the conveyor and he can start doing that. So looking forward to it actually. It's going to work quite well, I think. We're going to get this hooked up in here. Here we go, that's that. Get the PTO on as well. We hop in and lift that up, and there we are, that's perfect. So we'll head down, we'll take Vaughn down with us, and we will go and make a start with the beets. Alright, and there we are, all underway. Let's just see, I think I might have to hop in actually, and make sure, yeah, it needs to be unloaded. We need to tell it to unload as it goes, or it's just going to have a, keep complaining about that. In fact, I hope that's not going to stop us being able to use Courseplay, because part of the work is to be able to use Courseplay to do this. So we'll just hop in and tell it to unload, and hopefully you can keep going and not have any issues. I know I've done it before in 19 with the potato harvesters, so fingers crossed it's going to work here. And there we go, he is off, and we are getting a pile of beets along behind, which is fantastic. So what we're going to be able to do is use the same course that Vaughn is running on, and we'll set Morris up in the other tractor, and he can run along behind with the conveyor, and then it will be our task to drive the truck carefully beside and make sure we can get all these beets in here and take them over into the beet factory over the road. So we'll carry on down here, we'll head on back over to the yard and get everything going down there too. There we are, Morris has managed to get everything hooked up and going down here. So the idea being, because that runs right behind the tractor, we should be able to follow along on that same course because the windrow is in the centre of the tractor. Now the only thing I have noticed is that the conveyor here is on the right hand side, which does mean we are going to be running across the crop as we go beside. So we'll let Vaughan get a little bit ahead of us with the headland passes before we come in here and make a start. But if we see Morris down there, we will then follow down with the truck and hopefully get everything up and going. So we are all set to go and try this out. We've got Vaughan coming around. He's just finishing his second pass around there. It's going quite well. He's making some nice rows here. See them carrying on, and when it splits into two, obviously once we get around the headlands and get those done, we will get some nice straight rows to carry on with a little bit later on the up and down passes. Done 5 headland passes. Hopefully that's going to be enough to be able to turn around comfortably at the end. But we will we'll wait and see. This is going to take a wee while with these smaller pieces of equipment, but having a couple of extra hands is certainly going to make things go just that little bit faster. So all going quite well so far. Fingers crossed this all pays out, makes it worth our while. So there we go, we are done on the headlands, or at least Vaughan is done with the headlands. So if we get Morris up and going in here, we will make sure everything is going to work. I'm not sure exactly whether we just drive next to it and it unloads like a normal harvester or something like that, but let's go and try it out. So we'll jump into the truck. We've got him set up on course play, and we'll see how it all works out. Well, everything's working out. Look at this. We are getting the beets picked up. It is a little bit awkward that we have to drive on them, unfortunate, but it is the way it is. And we are up and going. Now, I do know that this field, you'll see up there, Vaughan is really struggling. This field is an awkward little shape in the corner here, and I really should take a little bit out of it and square it off, just to tidy it up a little bit, because if we got rid of that, it would be a much better field. Horseplay wouldn't have quite so many issues with it. Gosh, the truck must be full already. There's going to be a lot of trips back and forth to the sugar beet plant, or the sugar beet factory, and getting those done, but we're almost 100% full. What are we, 11.5, 13,000 capacity in this truck and trailer? I can't remember exactly, but this is going to be fantastic once we are all done and dusted. But let's just we'll just have to pause here for a second, let the topper and everything get around the corner, try and get around the corner without causing any issues with the tractor. We're going to have to go round and round again, not to worry. And there we are, 100% full. So we'll carry on our way around here. We're going to get 2 truckloads per headland pass. So that's 10 loads just on the headlands before we even get into the field proper. Try not to drive on the crop too much. We'll find a way to zigzag through the trees here. But this is going to be fantastic. We're going to get such good yield out of this. And to convert it into the beet pulp and everything else we can, pellets and molasses and all of that sort of thing, I think it's going to be a fantastic outcome for us. But it's going to take a while. Now I do know obviously headlands are the longest part of a field, so that will exacerbate it a little bit, but I still think we are going to have a decent return on this once we get to that point, which is good. So let's get this dumped out here. Just see, there's our tip trigger, and we'll get that trailer dumped there. We should be able to pull forward, hopefully. No, it must be quite a small trigger. Can't quite do it the way we did it down at the soy milk factory. That's alright. This will be a good test to see if we gave ourselves enough space to turn around as well. Alright, there we are. We've got our first load in there. It was a bit of a titchy trigger, and we haven't given ourselves enough space to turn around. We might have to go around the back of the factory there or something to turn around next time. But let's go back and carry on with getting this loaded. I think it's going to take us quite a while, so might be a bit of a mix of a montage and a time lapse. So we'll see how we go. Let's go and carry on. Looks like the top of there is running perfectly now. Nice straight lines. It'll be good to get into those when we can. Well, we've just come over here and it wouldn't tip any more out. And if we have a look here, 72,000 litres of sugar beets. I never thought we would meet our reach a maximum on that. And we have only, well, we haven't even finished 3 passes around the headlands. We are going to have a ton of beets. Both figuratively and metaphorically speaking, we are going to have more beets than we can handle. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do now. We can probably get the plant up and running, but it needs, I think it needs some lime, and of course we've now got a truckload of beets we can't do anything with. Go and buy some lime with. You can see there we do have some inputs of lime, so I wonder, in fact we've got the other trailer down at the other trailer down there. I wonder if we go and grab the fent. We might do that. We'll turn that off. We'll go and grab the fent and go and get some lime. See what happens once we get that in. I don't know if that's going to help us speed things up or not. We've also got obviously both tractors over here still running. We'll leave the topper going. They're doing a good job with that, but like I said, we're only not even 3 passes around and we've already maxed out the plant. So we're going to have to come up with another solution. We might even look whether we should be putting in a silo or a bunker or something where we can store some sugar beets. But let's go and get the lime and get that plant up and going, and then we'll worry about what we're going to do with all of these beets. I knew there was a reason we hung on to some of this old gear. We've got the tip bed on the front there, we've got the old wooden trailer on the back, so we're going to head down to the lime mine. Beauty of Spectacle Island, we don't have to pay for lime, there is free source down there, so we're going and grab that and we'll get that put into the sugar beet plant, get things up and going. It was a bit of a slow trip, but we do have 7,150 litres of lime here. We're going to have to move the truck out of the way so we can tip it here into the trigger. Jump up the front here, move this appropriately, and then figure out what we're going to do. I've been trying to think of options. I know there's a couple of root crop storage buildings. We could look for a free heap storage or something like that for sugar beets. Maybe put that down here as well. I don't know if we could put it in the right place where it'd be easy to unload and put into one from the other, but we will see. Here we go. Let's pop this here, lime tipped out. We'll see how much of an impact this has on production, how quickly production ramps up of any of the products that we get here out of the sugar beet processing plant. Alright, well we only needed 4,000 litres of lime. Pop over here and have a look. You can see there our inputs. Lime and sugar beets. Should be able to start getting some molasses, beet pulp and sugar out. So we'll just see if we need to turn anything on or what we need to do with this. There we go, it is active. Production of only 2,000 litres an hour. This is... if it uses 2,000 litres an hour, we've already got 3 days worth of sugar beets in there. That's not going to work. We are going to have to figure out a better way for this, because otherwise we are going to be here forever. But it is all set up and going. Now we have stopped the topper over there as well while we wait for this to get a little bit advanced, but I think we're going to have to find an option for what we do so we can carry on harvesting, or else we're going to be stuck with all these beets out here in the field, nowhere to put them. Well, I've made a few phone calls and have come up with a solution. Someone suggested, how about we do some free heaps? And I did actually mention it, but we have gone and found a mod that will allow us to keep the heap here and kind of sort it a little bit. So we'll go and get this placed. It is only $5 grand. It's a lot cheaper than any of the sheds or storage sheds we could have had. I think we might have to cut that tree down and just level a little bit more ground out. But I think we will do that here. So let's just take a quick look at it and figure out what we need to extend or expand on. So the Argsy storage, 1 heap outdoor storage, $5,000, actually store a whole range of product. We can put in pretty much anything in there, and obviously the key one is our sugar beets. So if we'll just bring that in here, and where I was going to try and put it, just spin it around. You can see the outside of the markers. I'm just going to put it almost as close as we could. So there's a load silo, or load auger there. There's a indicator to show how much fill there is in it, how much product there is in it, and obviously the 4 edges on the corners. So you can see there we just need to go a little bit past the tree and a little bit further down in the corner here, get that flattened out, and then we'll be able to get it placed. So we'll go and sort that out, and then we'll come in and build it, get back to harvesting some sugar beets. And so there we are, we've got that all leveled out, enough space. It has given us a bit of a drop off on the back edge here. We're going to have to do some more work as we progress through here, but I think if we just build that there, it would cost us $5,000. A little bit more, must have been just a little bit more leveling needed to be done. We've got a wild tree there. The tree got stuck under the landscaping, and it seems to be floating around underneath the map now. It's a bit of a shame. But there we go, let's go and take a look at this. So we've got our indicator there. That must be our fill point. we'll be able to just come in underneath this, hopefully get in underneath it well enough, and go and dump over there. So let's try and get these sugar beets dumped in it and see what happens. Well, I think if we just drive through, it does give us a start overloading just as we get into the middle here, and you can see our counter is going up on that screen. I wonder, oh, we can unload at the same time. That's nice. We'll just come forward a little bit. Get them both unloading. There we are. It's a lot quicker. 9,019 litres of sugar beets. And it does look like we're just starting to get the smallest little heap appear. So that's obviously a dynamic fill plane, and that'll start growing as it goes further and further. Hopefully not too big, but we will see. It'll be interesting to see how many sugar beets we end up with. So, with our storage issues solved, let's head on back over, and we can make a start again on getting some of these beets lifted up and carry on getting the field all lifted and opened up so we can carry on. And there we are, we've got everything back underway, so we can just spin around here. We can see we've got the topper and lifter going in the background, and we've obviously got the conveyor here running in the foreground. So hopefully that is going to be the end, the very last of our hiccups we run into here with the sugar beets. And we've got everything sorted out. We've ended up blowing a huge amount of our money. We've got just under 10 grand left. There is quite a few wool pallets and also quite a bit of eggs up at the farm, so we do have options if we need to make some money. We can always sell a few more pigs as well. There must be some milk there, so I'm not too worried about those kind of things, but it would be good. So we're going to carry on here. We're going to try and put together a little bit of a montage, see how that goes, and we'll catch you in a little while once we've got, hopefully, a whole lot further through this field. So, a little bit of an update on progress. The montage has been pretty hard to put together just because it is so much going back and forth with the truck and having to keep this rolling, so only a very short little few clips there that we have managed to grab. But you can see over there that Vaughn is all finished with the lifting, topping and everything like that, so he's parked up. I might go and get him started actually on ploughing or cultivating one of the fields that we've already harvested. It might be a good idea. But the other issue I am having is with the course play here for Morris with the lifter, with the conveyor here, is he doesn't like turning around at each end. So I'm having actually manually go in, stop course play and turn him around. So that's adding to the time and making it just again a little bit harder to do the, there you go, he's going to start backing up and try to turn. Just to do the montage made it very hard. So we are having to do that all manually and just control it that way. So have I bitten off more than I could chew? No, possibly. I'm enjoying it though. It's nice using this different equipment and things like that. So here we are. We'll get this turned around. We'll get up and going again, and we will carry on. We will get this done. It's going to take a wee while, but it's going to be worth it, I hope. Time will tell. Oh, I thought it was about time we had another update on progress here. We're quite a way over the field actually, probably over halfway, not too many rows left, and we're getting onto some shorter rows, which is good. Now Vaughn is over there, you'll just see him come around the corner. He is starting to cultivate that field in there. He's got the Deutz and the big 6 metre cultivator, which is good. We're going to leave him running in there while we carry on getting the rest of these sugar beets picked up. Now I'll have a look, we will head over in just a second, we're just about full. We'll head over and see how many we've got in the pile. We are getting, there we go, full truckload. We are getting very close to I think about 200,000 litres plus the 70,000 that's in the factory already. So we've certainly got a decent amount of sugar beets. But we'll get over there, we'll go and have a look and see how the pile's going and carry on going. Now these little bits on the side here, I think we'll come down with the telehandler or the wheel loader and pick those up with a bucket, put them in the back of the truck. I think that'll be quicker than trying to use the conveyor. Particularly as the conveyor only holds 500 before it needs to be unloaded and makes things a little bit tricky. Let's just have a look on the sign as we drive past here. 180,000, so with this truckload we'll be over about 194. And you can start to see the heap is really starting to appear there in the middle, so we'll just get swung around. It's worked quite well actually coming in this way. that one dumped, and get that one dumped. We can get them both going at the same time and let the heap grow just a little bit more. Keep an eye on our total there as it empties out. We will be just over 194,000, I think. By 53 litres. So we're, I reckon, by the time we're finished, we might be close to 300,000 litres, 350,000 litres of sugar beets. Now, we could always sell some. I don't fancy running them down 16 or 13,600 litres to a sell point at a time. That might take quite some time. So we might see. We'll see what the price is worth, whether it's worth carrying on with the processing and just having that factory going all the time, or whether we should look to sell some things. So let's carry on. We'll get some more of these taken away, picked up and put into storage, and we'll leave Vaughn over there with the cultivating. So only a couple of passes left here to do. We are just about done. You can see Vaughn is on his way back up to the yard. He's all finished cultivating that field, which is good. That's another task done and dusted, because obviously we've got no crops in the ground. We don't going to need to get planting next day, tomorrow, but obviously our focus here is getting these all finished. I would get him cultivating the other big field by the yard, but that needs some lime put on it. So we will just wait and get that all sorted out and get some lime on there, and then we can get that cultivated and planted. But that'll be something for next time. We'll be busy planting and tidying all that up. So carry on. We've got, what, 2 more proper passes here, and then that's just little sections up in the top end. And then obviously these bits in the corners. There's a couple of passes over there we can probably go and do with course play without too many hassles. So we'll carry on, and we will hopefully not be too far away from being pretty much finished. We're just going to pick these last couple of rows here, or this one at least, that we didn't do at the start when we started off on some bigger, longer rows. I think everything else you can see in the corners we will come back down with the wheel loader and pick up. I think that's going to be the best way, rather than trying to do it here with conveyors. These short little turns and everything would make it a little bit frustrating and annoying, I think. So we'll do it that way. So there we go. We'll get to the end of here, and I think we will turn off that tractor and leave Morris to head on back up to the yard, because we obviously don't need it down here. We'll go and dump these few sugar beets in the pit, see how much we've got there. Have a little bit of a guess about how much we've got left out here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe another truckload, truck and a half, maybe another 20,000 litres at most. So we're going to have a look at what we've got, how many sugar beets we've harvested, and make some plans for the next episode. Well, we're not quite going to get to 300,000 with that truckload. It's going to go pretty close though, 295,000. But obviously we've got more than enough out in the field to still get 300,000, and we do have 68,000 in here. So we actually, by the time we've picked it all up, we're actually going to be much closer to 400,000 than not. But you can see we've already got some sugar, some beet pulp, and some molasses being produced, which is good. So you can see those around here. There is the sugar. We have to figure out where we can sell that and what it's worth. That's our molasses. We may keep some of that for our silage, but most of it will go and be sold as well. And actually, we might make it into some pallets, can't we? We haven't done that yet. Got the pallet building, which we can add in. There we are. Let's head on back down to the yard, and we'll wrap things up. Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you both here. Things went all right in the end. I think we got all the issues sorted out, and we've got all the beets done. Well, just about all done. All we can do together. I'll go and handle the rest of those with a front loader and bucket, and we'll get them scooped up. But we will be close to 400,000 litres of beets. So 13,500 each truckload. That's a fair few truckloads back and forth. So thank you again for your help. Vaughn, thanks for heading off and getting that field cultivated as well. And Morris, hope you enjoyed the new tractor. I like it. It looks good there over your shoulder. I'm looking forward to having a go on it myself at some stage. So, gentlemen, thank you again, and we'll catch you again soon. So there we are. I didn't start off the day thinking we'd have a new tractor, but we do. So very exciting to have this here, and like I said, looking forward to getting out in it myself at some stage, probably when we're planting, which will likely be next episode. I'll tidy up the rest of the beets, and then we've got this field to get limed, we've got to get it cultivated, we've got to plough the field that the beets are in, and may even have to lime that once it's ploughed, I'm not sure. And then we've got everything else to get planted, so certainly is a fair amount of work to get done. So looking forward to it. Again, as always, if you want to come and be part of the team, make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know what you can offer. Looking forward to having some more of our viewers on the channel and helping me out. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed that episode of Spectacle Island. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.